We could zoom out for a second and kind of forecast out in the future. Look 5, 10 years ahead. Where do you see Cabinet IQ being in the franchise space and entrepreneurial value? Like, what's the next 5 to 10 years look like?
Yeah, well, I know when homeowners start thinking about cabinets or countertops, we're going to be the brand that people think of. So, for example, if you were to drop me off in the middle of Omaha, Nebraska, and I needed to buy a laptop, the only thing I could think about would be to Google Best Buy and drive over there and buy a computer. That's just me personally. You may have your own brand or other store, but being recognized in the space that the company who does it right every single time because of robust processes with the nation's most reviews, highest rated, that's going to be what people feel about our brand. And we're actually already seeing this. People are moving. They do a project with Cabinet IQ. They go to a different city, and those people that find us aren't searching cabinet company. You know what they're searching? Cabinet IQ.
Cabinet IQ.
They Google, and we can track all that stuff. All that data is tracked. They search Cabinet IQ. They come to us, and then they tell us a story. We just had a job done in Charlotte, North Carolina. We just bought this other home. Do you guys sell the same products? Of course we do. That's the benefit of consistency across the nation. So that's going to be amazing to see. A continued investment into AI. I think AI is really driving a couple of cool things in our industry that I'm keeping track of and waiting for it to be mature enough to implement. And I'll give you a kind of a one-off. I grew up watching Home Improvement with Tim Allen. I think like a lot of people did. And getting a national spokesperson like that to promote our brand, I think it could be really cool. So moving more into the national TV commercials and someone with like his sort of stature with Home Improvement could be pretty neat. So those are the things that I have in my mind. We're opening up about 3 showrooms per month right now. So in 5 years, the market's going to be saturated and in a good way. We're not going into the middle of the cornfields or, high up into the mountains. We're really in Class A cities and identifying the places that Cabinet IQs belong. So that's where my mind goes. 10 years is pretty far, but I have a 5-year vision for what this looks like.
I love it. I love the vision. Thank you for sharing that. I couldn't agree more that there's nothing but upward trajectory for your particular brand. I was literally talking to a client yesterday by y'all and I said, can you just hold until tomorrow so you can hear it from the guy himself? So you better be on. You know who I'm talking about. If not, I'll send you the recording and then you're going to watch it. But this is a brand that's got legs, that's going somewhere. To your point, you've already created competitive differentiation. You have scalability across the entire US. You have defined processes, documented systems, pretty lean labor model, scalable footprint, vendor partnerships. Like, you got it all. It's a hand to a franchisee and make them successful. So what advice would you give a founder who's trapped inside of their own daily operation? They're running their own small business, but getting stuck. What advice would you give to that type of person?
Meditate and think about what's holding you back and write it down and go execute. Because we can all think about what's holding us back. And I think once it's on paper and we take action and we see it, maybe it's a tough conversation we need to have with an employee. Maybe it's someone that's not on our team that we need. I'm a big believer in, we use the culture index survey to understand who we are and what makes us tick. So when you're building an organization and you're not paying attention to personality tests like that, I think it's a massive, massive mistake. So I think a lot of it is around team building, understand who you need on your team to complement you as a founder. Most founders have like a captain profile, super ambitious, not patient, not quite into the details either, kind of midline on talkative. They could be an extrovert or introvert. It's kind of a normal profile for a founder. You're missing people on your team probably that could be more of an executor, that are into the details, that are into patience, that are into writing SOPs and building systems out. Because as a founder, if you're just generating ideas and you're not executing, you're doing yourself, your brand, and your franchisees a disservice. So it's not just about idea generation, it's about execution and keeping the main thing, right? Keeping the main thing, how quickly can we get franchisees to profitability? What's the whatever dream they have, where do we go from here to their dream, and building a plan with them to get there.